Hello everyone, welcome back to our Python course channel where we are going to perform and learn everything from very basic to taking it to advanced. I hope you all are doing very well and you have practiced programs from our previous lectures because today we are entering in one of the most important topics of Python programming. Till now, we have learned what is Python, how to create variables, what are variables, what are the different data types, how do you we store different kind of values inside those data types, how they are different from each others, why Python is so go-to language. But today we are going to answer some more question and going to move one step ahead. So for that today's topic we are performing some uh, amazing little bit codings and all. But today, for that, you have to revise the previous topics as well. Suppose what is the motive of today's lecture is that we have to bring a good foundation in these operators and our decision making. We are going to cover this whole syllabus, trying to first cover the first topic that is operators, and if needed, we will create a separate video for the decision making. So let's start. Before starting this video, first I want you to answer some of the questions. Since whatever you have learned, think about it, and suppose can I store two numbers inside a variable? Can my program calculate their sums? Like if I give a program two numbers and it automatically gives me the output as its sum. Or can I compare two numbers and see which is the bigger number and which is the smaller? Can I decide whether a person is have been passed in an exam or failed in an exam? Or during the eligibility, like if I talk about the voting criteria inside a country, in India, for example, a person who is above 18 only can vote. So before that, you will not get your voter ID card, right? So how do you know that okay, a person is eligible to vote or not? Can also while using the platforms like Instagram and all, you have to verify whether this username or password is valid or not, right? So can I verify a username and password too if I'm creating a program? So can I do these kind of things in all? So if you ask me, the answer is yes. And all these things becomes very much possible because of two important concepts in Python, operators and decision making. These two topics are not just for Python. I would say these are important for every programming language in this world. Whether you are learning C++, you are learning JavaScript, or you are practicing about AI, machine learning, data science, or web development, cyber security, everywhere you will use these operators and conditions. So please listen it very carefully. Today's lecture is extremely important. I request everyone to keep their VS Code open and do practice side by side as we are going to move further inside this video because today we will do a lot of live coding also. So before that, all starting this new topic, let's quickly revise what we learned in our previous lecture. Okay. Before learning something new, let's spend a few minutes revising and revisiting the topics of previous lecture because programming is like a building a house. If you don't know how to create a base, if you're not creating a base, you cannot move to make a floor and keep going on because if the foundation is weak, the whole building will eventually collapse. Similarly, if your concepts of variables and data types are not very much clear, or operators will become very confusing later. So please try to first clear those topics. If you have any kind of such doubts that you are not sure that okay, I have understood it, please again rewatch this video or see some notes and all, and then come to this video. So let's start. For that, I am opening my Visual Studio Code, that is full form for our VS Code. You can use any offline compiler as I have told you in previous videos, and you can use any online compiler as well. There is no such issues. You can do anything. So let's start with a simple question. Okay, so imagine I am having a bottle. So can you keep a water inside it? Can you keep water inside a bottle? Of course we can. Can you empty it and refill it with some kind of juice instead? Yes, exactly. We can do that too. So it is a variable is similar to that bottle only. A variable is nothing but a container that is storing a data. I'd like to give you another example. Suppose we are moving into new house. While moving to a new house, how do we pack our things? We create separate boxes, and each boxes have a similar category of things, like a clothing box, a box labeled as clothes will have clothes inside it. A box named as utensils will have kitchen utensils inside it. A box named as like tools and something, so furniture or something, so there will be furniture inside it. So we are just creating a label, and whatever the label is saying, we have similar kind of data inside that box, right? So variable is nothing but a container, a storage box that stores the data. For example, I'm creating a variable called name, and giving it a data Aman, and let's see what happens. I've written a simple program. I have created a variable, and let's see what happens while I'm printing it. Aman has been printed. Here, the name is the variable. Aman is the value that we have stored inside the variable called name. Whenever we write print name and something, print here is the function. Print Python prints the name Rahul. Whenever we are using the print function, it is for printing whatever we have stored inside these braces. Since I have want to print the name Aman, I have created a variable. So I am printing the variable so that the value comes out. Okay. So print is a function. Remember that. Let us take another example. For example, age equals to 20. So it's again here you can see age is the variable that we have created. 20 is the value, and nothing difficult. Print is printing the age. Whatever the value this variable called age have, print is printing that value. Variable simply stores the information. Now, the question arises, why do we need it? Why do we need variables? Okay, so imagine Instagram. Every user has a name, followers, a username, a following, a bio, like bio or post, comments, profile pictures. Can you think of Instagram? Can it store all of these information without variables? Think about it for a second. Can Instagram can store all this information without variables? No, it cannot. Because every application stores information using these variables. Whether you say Facebook, whether you say WhatsApp, YouTube, or it's Netflix, Amazon, Flipkart, everything uses variables. Now you must be wondering, Why? It is because one of the most important and a major advantage of a variable is that, for example, I'm using this variable name in a long program, in a proper programs, and I've repeated this name variables in that along like for 40, 50 times, for example. Let's take it smaller, 20 times, for example. So, what if I want to change the name of a month? Okay. For example, I want to change the name of Aman to Rahul. So I have to go and check where I have written. So if I'm not using this variable, I have to again and again change Aman to Rahul, and that will take a lot of time and it's a waste. Whereas if I'm storing this value inside a variable and I have been using this variable name instead of writing the value, I have using this variable in the 20 places and I just update where I have declared the value. If I here only in this line, if I change the value, like change it to Rahul, so it will automatically update it and in the all other 20 places where I have been using this name variable, it will give the updated value. So this is one of the most easiest and the simplest way to for the things that can be changed. For example, suppose today your age is 20, tomorrow it will be 21. It will be changed. It have to be changed. Many of applications have been using variables for such things. Okay. Now let's, since we have discussed very much about this topic in previous lecture, so let's move to data types. Now this is an very important topic also, and with this uh, topic, I have a question for you. Suppose I say, okay, my age is 20. How does Python know that 20 is a number and not a text? Like I haven't told him now that okay, this is a text or a number. I've just written simply that age equals 20. How does Python know that it's a number? It is not a text. Because Python checks its data type. Data type simply tells Python, okay, what kind of data is stored inside a variable. I know this is a number, but how Python knows is because it is checking its type of data, or we can say data type. As the name suggests, every data has its own type. We have numeric data types, we have text data types, we have Boolean data types that I'm going to revise in just few minutes. Okay. Now, for the numerical data types, we have it is further divided into two categories. That is, first is integer and second is float. Integer is the whole number. Integers are the whole numbers. For example, here 20, or I say -5, 0, 100, 90, -90, whatever we say, the whole numbers are integer. So here the age equals to 20 and I'm printing the age. So it's simply I'm just simply using input of integer. Now, what if I want to change it and I'm using temperature? Now you can see this. These both are numbers. I'm not denying it. Both are numbers. The only difference is, okay, let's do it little bit. Okay, let's do it with this. Okay. Both are numerical values, but the only difference is this is an integer and this is an float. Float is a number that contains, uh, I would say, it contains decimal value, decimals. Okay. So, for example, whatever you are using and it has decimal inside it, so it will be considered as float. For example, if you take height, temperatures, percentages, price, measurements, We often use float only. Okay, so this is the our second data type. Now talking about the third data type, which is a text, or we can say strings. We are talking about strings. So yeah, I've already written that okay, name equals to Aman, and I'm printing the name. Here you can see I have written this Aman, the value of Aman inside a inverted quotes. What if I change it and write it simply like this? Okay, okay, this is the shortcut for you. If you want to clear your terminal inside a VS Code, you have just simply type the clear and it will clear all the terminals so it doesn't create a load of outputs there. Okay, let's see. No, it is not working. Why? Because Python thinks that a month is another variable. Text, whenever you are using any text, you should always put in the text inside the quotation marks. Then it will be considered as a string. Then only you can print it. Now it's printed. See, the result is here. Either you have to put it in single quotes, either you can put in double quotes, or triple quotes as per your choice. Remember one thing only that triple quotes is mostly for multi-line strings. When you have a paragraph or you have multiple lines, for example, or a documentation or a paragraph, then you only use the triple quotes. Otherwise, you should only use single or double quote. And remember, only this is the way how Python thinks that okay, Aman is now a text and I have to print it. For real world, we have been using it for names, cities, addresses, or emails, passwords, even phone brands. You can even print numbers inside it. It's not an issue. Like you can even print numbers using strings. I'll let you know how. Everything here is everything textual is stored inside as a string only. Okay. I have to discuss one more example of this, but that is why do we need strings? One of the most good example I want to make. For example, I'm creating a mobile number 9078, okay, and I have to print this value as a text too. I'm just printing. See, both are printed. There was no issue. Okay, issue will occur when I will add a zero ahead of this whole number. Leading zeros are not permitted inside a value in terms of numerical value. If a number, any kind of number have a zero, it has a leading zero, the first place is a zero, the Python will throw an error. That's why if we want to print such a number or a number of such a person who have a leading zero, we can use string as it because it will not throw an error in terms of string. See, it has simply printed it. So remember this thing also. Now let us move to our fourth data type. This is probably the simplest data type I would say. Boolean has literally has only two values, true, false, nothing else. For example, I'm just creating a, for example, a data true and print has it's true. Either I can print false and it will print false. The Boolean data types, when we talk about, it has two values, false or true. Are you seeing that their color has been changed? Because these are keywords. These are fixed reserved words and it has to be written as it is. You cannot write false as this. You cannot write false as this too. Only the first letter has to be capital, others should be small. Similar for true, you cannot write true like this, neither like this. Remember that it's a keyword, it has to be written as it is, how it has been given, otherwise, this will throw an error. Now, Booleans are used everywhere whenever there is a condition or you are asking a question, for example, is the door open? Either yes or no. Have you passed the exam? Yes or no. Have you logged in the website? Yes or no. True or false. Is light on or not? Is light on? True or false. These situation uses Boolean value types when you have to just answer in terms of true, false, or yes or no, whatever you say. Okay. Now, with that, let's talk about the type function we have discussed. One function is that we will discuss function with a very detailed and theory, detailed theory in upcoming lectures. But this is a simple function that one function that is a one function that I would say every beginner should know because that is quite helping. If I say x has a value 20, y has a value 20, and I want to print x comma y. Remember, I have told you that you can print two values together by separating them with the comma function. Okay, simply print it 20 and 20. Now, by seeing at the input, you can tell me, okay, this is a string, this is a integer. But looking at the output, can you tell me which is a string and which is the number? If I don't tell you, if you don't see the screen in the input screen, can you tell me what was which output is for string and which output is for number? No, you cannot. Sometimes similar things occurs inside a Python program where programmer don't know the data type. So what they do, they simply uses a function that is type. Okay. So do we use it? Remember, you can use a function inside a function. We are using type function we are using type function and it is enclosed in print function, so you don't have to worry. Type. Remember, whatever the data you want to get, for example, you want to know the type of X, so under the braces, inside the braces, there should be the X. And similar to Y, when whatever you want to know the type of, you have to do it similar. Let's see what's See, now it is telling me that first one is the string. Don't worry about this class and all. Just see this part. str here means this first one is the string. Int means that second one is the integer. That is why type function is very much useful. If I change this to now it is a float. If I want to know the value of a second thing that is 0 and let's say 1. Okay, let's then see what happens. Okay, so it is telling you that first one is a string, the X is a string, the Y is a float, and the Z is again integer, and the W is then also integer. Okay, so this is how we can check the type also. So if I give you another example, um, now this is telling me, okay, now you whatever you asking of type of, it is a Boolean. Whenever you get confused while coding, simply you can use this type function. It immediately tells you what kind of data you are dealing with, and if there is an error, you can solve it by there only. Okay. Now, okay, remember the four rules of variables too? I have already discussed that in the previous video, but if you want, I can revise in just 2 minutes. First, a variable can never start with a number. A variable can never be separated by a space. If you want a space, you between the two words, you can use underscore inside it. A variable should not contain any special character except underscore. Remember that. And the fourth one is the variable should be useful, I mean meaningful. Like if you're storing, if you're creating a name variable, it should contain name. It should be according to the data you are storing. It's a good habit for a person to name the variable according to the data it is containing. Now let us move to our next topic, that is typecasting. Let's understand one of the most useful concept, that is typecasting. Casting. Suppose a user, okay, before typecasting is very much good because it helps us to change one data type into another. Okay, so whenever you want to change an integer into string, or a string into boolean, or a boolean into something, you can use the typecasting. Typecasting simply means that you are changing the data type of a variable. Okay. Along with that, I have not discussed it, but I'm discussing it now. Please, this is a new topic. If you want to take input inside a program, this, and the second topic I will discuss is comments. These are two important topics that we have not discussed it, but we are discussing it now. Let's go with comments. You see, whatever I've written in this green line, when I will print it, it will not get executed. Do you know why? Because these are called comments. Comments are used for those programmers to understand. For example, I am writing a program. I know that how this program is working, which variable used for what type of data, which variable is working how. But if an another or a third person is viewing it, how that person would know? For that, Python has a thing called comments. But whatever we are writing inside our program, we also create a statement, or I would say some lines that will not be executable but would be readable whenever a person is seeing the coding part. It is helpful when you want to know, okay, you are taking a note of something, or you are creating a message for something, that okay, this variable is used for this purpose and all, then only we can use this comment. So how to do comments in a Visual Code? You have to create on control plus slash, and it will be working. So you have to work like this. This is used for commenting something. These are the non-executable lines. This will never be executed. Python take it as comment automatically whenever you are using this control plus hash. So remember this. This is a very simple topic I have to discuss, so I have discussed it now. Now, input inside a program. How to take input? Till now, whatever we were doing it as a purpose that, okay, I have given the value, I have already given the value, but what if you want to create a program where user enters its own value? For example, if you're creating a calculator, the user has the whole freedom that it can add any numbers. It can multiply any numbers or divide any numbers. It won't be you that will discuss, okay, this program will only calculate 20 plus 10. Then what's the use of calculator, right? So we need to enter some values. For entering that value, we will knowing the third important function, that is our input function. So how does input function works? It's very simple. For example, I am creating it for name. Okay, name equals to input, and let's create inside this. Let us leave it simple and print the name. So let's see what happens. So what will happen? I'll let you know. Now there is an error. You must be thinking, okay, what happened? So let's start it. Okay, now it's working. So what we are doing, okay, let's enter age. Let me check, enter name. So what we are doing is we are creating a message that okay, this is here we are entering a name, and let's see what happens whenever we are printing it. Let's first clear this prompt. Okay, entering the name. So it is asking me to enter my name, Isha, and then it will print the whatever the name is, that is Isha. This is a simple program. I'm telling you how to use this input function. Whatever you will write this in string function, that will be taken as your input, that okay, this message will be displayed, then you will enter your input and that input will be printed. So this is how this is whole going to work. So with this also we can help, this will also help you to know about more about typecasting. Suppose, let us create for this, for example, I'm creating it for a age input. Remember, input function has been used here. Enter your age. You can type any message, it's your free will, and print age. Let's see. So it is asking me what is my age. So, for example, I entering 18. So it is giving me the value 18. So here the value 18 looks like a number, right? Actually, it looks like, okay, this is a number, but no, it is not. Whenever we use input function, Python stores everything as text by default. Let me show you. I am rather than printing the age, I am printing the type of age. Let's see what happens. 18. It is a string. That's surprising, right? But this is the concept of input function, that whenever we are using an input function, it automatically take it as an string only. But what if you wanted, no, I want it as a number only. Then what to do? So we will use typecasting here. Along with this input function, we are going to use int outside this function. telling this that okay, this whole input function will work as an integer. Now let's see what will be its data type. Now it is an integer. This is where typecasting is very much important. We have converted a string into a number using typecasting. You can change it into any number for any data type. If you want it to float, just type here float. Okay, it's a float. If you want bool, let's see what happens we are doing with bool. Now it's a bool. I mean boolean. It's a short form. If you want a string, you can use str. But the default function it will be taken at it will be age will be taken as a string only because it is a default value inside the input function. So you remember that. The common mistake we can do is suppose I'm typing here age 20 and I want to print it like this print age plus years. I want to print it like this. Okay. I want to print 20 years. Actually, let's see what happens if we try to run it. Do you think it will? No. No. Now you must be wondering why it's not running. Because in a Python, inside the Python function, you can never add a integer and a string together. One value is integer, another is a string. Python cannot combine different data types directly. The correct way of this would be that first I change this value into a string either here or here. So for example, if I'm changing it here, now I have changed the value of age from a number to a string. Let's see what happens. That is simply printing. Now you must be thinking, okay, but I want a space between it. Then simply create an empty string and add that to that will create a space between them 20 years. So remember, typecasting is very much important. Okay, so I hope you have understood so very well so far because I have discussed everything in very much details. Um, Now let me ask you one more question. So suppose I write A equals to 20, B equals to 10. Can computer automatically tells the answer of 10 plus 20? If I just write it like that. Or if I print A and B, would they give me the answer 30? No. It is simply for storing the values. It will do nothing more than storing the values. But what if we want calculation? We need something called operators. Okay, we will be needing something called operators. Similarly, suppose marks are 85. Can Python automatically decide whether student has been passed the exam? No. We have to write the condition that okay, after the certain criteria, certain marks, a person can be considered as passed or fail. That is where today's topic is going to begin, which is operators and decision making. By the end of today's lecture, you will be able to create calculators, grading system, login system, or maybe voting eligibility criteria. When we will cover this whole topic, operators and decision making, you will be doing many more beginner level applications using Python operators and conditions. Okay, in this part, in the previous part, we have revised what are the variables, what are the data types. Let's move to today's main topic, that was our operators and decisions. Uh, if What is 10 plus 20? If I ask you a simple question, if I ask any person right now, what is a 10 plus 20? Immediately your brains will be like 30. Now another question. Is 15 greater than 10? Again, your answers are yes, it is. Another one. Is 20 greater than 25? Or 20 is equal to 25? No, 20 is never equal to 25. Now think about how does computer answer these questions? We do have brains because we are humans. But the computer doesn't have a brain like human. I have already told you computers only follows the instructions. It does not have a brain. It does not have a common sense. Those instructions, whatever we gave, whatever we instruct the computer, it just blindly follows it. Those instructions are called operators. Today, we will understand how Python performs calculations and make decisions using operators. Now, what are operators? Let's understand this within real life example. Imagine you are using calculator app on your phone. Okay, you press 5 into 7 or 5 plus 7. The calculator immediately shows you either 35 you are using multiplication or 12 when you are adding those two numbers. Now, who did the actual calculation? Not the numbers, obviously, not the numbers. The addition symbol or the multiplication symbol that performed the calculation. Similarly, if you press 15 minus 8, the symbol minus performs subtraction. These symbols, whether you say addition, multiplication, or division, whatever you are saying, these are called operators. The numbers are called operands, but these special symbols are called operators. If I am adding 10 plus 5, it is giving me the result 50. 10 is an operand. 5 is another operand. And the symbol of plus is an operator. Together they produce the answer 50. Very simple. So if someone asks you what are operators, operators are special symbols that perform operations on variables and values. That's it. Simple and easy. Operators are what? Operators are special symbols used to perform the operations on variables and values. Okay, think them of as a simple analogy. The simplest analogy is a calculator. Whenever you add two numbers or whenever you add two numbers, that's an operator always works as okay. You have to add them, give the answer. So the question is, why do we need operators? Suppose you are building an ATM. Customer enters, okay, current balance is 10,000. Now customer withdraws 2,000. How will the ATM calculate the remaining balance? Simple. It will subtract the amount that has been withdrawn using subtraction. Now suppose in Amazon, item price is 900 or 899 to be specific. We have it online Amazon shops and all. 899 and it has a tax of 162. What will be the final price? It will add the item price and add the tax, then give you the okay, this is the total MRP. Suppose now talking about Instagram. Yesterday your followers was 15,000. Today your followers are 15,246 something. How many new followers? Something 200 more followers you have been added. How did you that? How did you do that? You have subtracted today's followers from yesterday's followers. Now, suppose you are making a school management system. Marks in five subjects, whatever it was, if you're in a school management system, marks in five subjects need average. Like, okay, how many you have scored in total 5 subjects, we need an average. Addition and division are done together, right? First you add all the marks, then you add the total marks of all subjects, then you create a average using dividing those the total marks versus the given marks, whatever you have gained the marks. Now, salary calculator. You have a basic salary, like whatever the salary there is, then a bonus if it is has been added or not, then tax, everything uses operator. Then according to that, you will create your salary. So operators are literally everywhere. Okay. Python has many types of operators. Don't worry, we will learn them one by one. You don't have to be like panic that okay, I have to remember what every operators are there. I will make you understand in a such a way that whenever someone asks you, you will tell me, okay, this is the this type of operator. Today's focus would be arithmetic operator, assignment operator, comparison operator, logical operator, identify operator, membership operator. Though we have discussed arithmetic, assignment, and comparison operator a little bit in our previous video, we have touched a little bit of topic. Today we are going to understand that whole topic along with the other three types in a more theoretical form and a coding. We will do practically too. So you don't have to worry. You just have to listen and keep your VS Code side so you can practice them side by side. Okay. Okay, bitwise operator I'm not going to cover right now because bitwise operator do exist, but they are mostly used in advanced programming and like embedded system and networking or but we won't go that deep in this lecture. We will just stick to these six operator types that are arithmetic, assignment, comparison, logical, identity, and membership operator. So let's start with our simplest topic, arithmetic operators. This is the easiest category. Arithmetic operators are exactly like the calculator on your mobile. Okay, they perform mathematical calculations. They have seven subtypes also. You don't have to worry about the subtypes. Only thing you have to worry about is their symbols. Okay, they are. We will learn every one of these through different examples. So let's move toward our Visual Studio and we'll name this topic as operators. Okay, let's start. So first we are going to do our first symbol, that is this one, the addition. As the name suggests, is it is very simple. I don't think so. We have to learn a much about it, but still I'm just going to perform it. Simple answer. I had just used this operator and added this. Now you can do it in this way. Either you print directly or you can create another variable and add these and print that variable. You can do it either way because it means literally the same thing. See? Okay. For that, Python first looks at okay, A contains a value 10. Then B contains a value called 5. Then C contains a value that is adding the value of A and the value of B and prints it. There is nothing complicated. Okay. So this is how it's gonna work. I don't think so. We have to learn about addition right now because we have been learning it since our childhood. Now let's use input function here. Right now, okay, I'm telling you that, okay, let's add these and all. Try this by your own. I'm just waiting for a few seconds. Try this by your own using input function that, okay, and second person would be entering those values and your program is giving you the correct value. Okay, let's start it. Since the I know these are the numbers, I'm already creating that I want it as in terms of numbers only. Okay, so so I'm trying again. I'm adding my first number 100, let's say, and 150. What do you think the result would be? Let's see. Okay. Now I'm seeing that there is something issue here. Why doesn't it just wrote these number, just adding those two, instead of adding those number, it first wrote the first number, then the second number without a space. Do you know what went wrong? Because now, as I already told you, that input function defaultly takes any number as a text. And whenever you add any two texts, or let's say whenever you're adding two strings, it is in concatenation. Now it is taking it as, if I want to let you know, 100 plus 150. And it is giving you the text like this. It is concatenation. This is not addition because we are adding two strings, not two numbers. To fix this, we will make sure that this number has been converted into integer so that we get the correct calculation what we are doing right now. I'm again adding the same numbers 100 and 150. Now I got my answer 250. So remember, whenever you are using input function, if it is a string, then there is no such problem. But if there is a number, please do change into number or integer, float, whatever the or data type you have, you are using or you need, because the default value of input is that it will take it as string. So remember that. If you don't need a string or something, you can directly use input function. But if you need numbers, so first you have to use typecasting and change the data types. So please remember that. Now, what if I want to subtract it? I just do simply using the this operator and subtract it. I got the answer minus 50. Now, these symbols are very much easy because we have been learning same symbols in our mathematics too. That for addition it's plus, and for minus we are using this symbol. For multiplication, it is different. We don't use that cross symbol for multiplication here. What we use is this star symbol. This is used for multiplication. So as I told you, you just have to remember these operators and their meaning. Otherwise, this is the easiest topic, all of them from whatever we are learning till now. So let's see what happens when you're adding. Let's add 100, 150, and we get the answer 15,000. It's simple as that. Now, if I want to divide, for dividing, we have been using this in mathematics. but it has a different meaning in Python language. For division, you have to use this symbol. This is used for division, and let's see what happens. I'm using 25. Let's see the answer. That's a 4.0. Now you must be thinking that instead of answer is we should get the answer 4. The Python prints 4.0. Why? Because as I told you, input has a default value string. The division function always have a return, it always returns a value float. Okay. Many beginners get confused, but remember this, normal division will always returns the value as float. This is a rule, so you have to remember it. So whenever you see this symbol, this symbol, think the answer would be in decimals. Now, what if I wanted in division in integer only? Then I will use floor division. This is an example of floor division. When we are using those double symbol, then we get the answer as our simple integer. Okay, so remember that floor division removes the decimal part. Okay, so normal division is for decimal if you want result in decimal or float. If you don't want it, you have to use floor division. Okay, for example, right now we are using some number that are divisible with each other. What if I divide 25 by 4? The answer should be something in points, right? But the answer would be 6. Okay. Now you must be thinking how 6 fours is 24. There is no decimal point because floor division always notes the decimal part. Now, as I told you that the percentage symbol here has a different meaning because here it is an modulus operator, one of the most useful operators, I would say. Students often memorize this. They learn it. Don't memorize it, understand it. For example, uh, um, 10, 3. The answer is 1. You must understand, you must be like, what is this? Okay, now try by dividing yourself. Whenever you divide 3 in 10, the answer you will get what you will get in the question. You will get 3 in the question that okay, and you will get one remainder. One as remainder. The remaining part is called remainder. Whatever we divide because 3 3s are 9. Now 10 divided minus 9 is 1. So 1 is the remainder part. The modulus operator always returns the remainder. Remember that. It is for the remainder. It always gives you the remainder part. Now real life uses of modulus function. Whenever you have to check even or odd number or a leap year or you have to reverse digits using recursive function or something, we will discuss that to relax. Creating a digital clock or game development, circular queues, hashing, cryptography. You'll use it in many times during your programming journey. Let's go. Since so far we have discussed around 6 operators, the last one is the exponential operator. You know this. This is for this is for multiplication. When you add this one more time, now this is for exponential. Suppose I am writing 2 power 3. So you don't get it like this, like 2 power 3. You never write it here like this in Python. In Python, if you want to raise anything to powers, you have to do this like this. This is your base. This is 2 is your base and 3 is your power that you want to multiply 2 into 2 into 2 like 3 times. The result would be 2 into 2 into 2. Okay, so remember the first one is your base, and the next one is your power, what you are doing. Let's see. 2 raised to power 2. Answer is 4. If you want, let's again run it. 5, 2 raised to power 5. So answer is 32. Whenever you are using it for squaring area or scientific calculation or maths formula, machine learning formulas, physics equation, you will be needing these things. So remember the meaning of these operators. I am giving you a quick revision. For addition, the plus symbol. For subtraction, it's a minus symbol. For multiplication, it's the star symbol. For division, it's in slash. For floor division, we have to use it double times. For modulus is for remainder. It gives you the remainder. And exponential, we have to use it 2 times. So you have to answer this question. What is 17 modulus 5? Remainder, you have to give the remainder. Try it your own, okay? So don't make the mistakes of using the wrong symbols. For power, you have to use the given symbol right here. For if you want a whole number, so you will use normal division, floor division. If you know the decimal, you will use the normal division. Never think it as it will give you the question. It always give you the remainder. So do remember it. So since we have discussed the assignment operators, we learned how to perform calculations using arithmetic operators. But now imagine you are developing a game. Two players are playing. The players score, one's player, the score of first player is keep increasing. And after killing one enemy, the initial score was 100. Then killing one enemy, it becomes 105, then 110, then 115. If we if we keep writing score plus 5 again and again, our code will be repetitive. For example, if I have a certain score like 100, okay, and I'm saying it whenever you are doing it, it should add 5 to it. So whenever I will run this program and again, first the answer will be 105. Then the answer will be 1110. Then the answer will be 115. This will keep increasing. This will keep increasing. Okay. So remember that Python gives you a shorter and cleaner way to update these variables called assignment operators. Okay. Since you must be surprised, but you are using one assignment operator and assigning those values from the beginning of this lecture, that is this operator. This, if I'm reading it, is like x equals to 10. So Python read it as that x has been stored inside the x. You will notice this. This is not mathematics that 10 equals to x or x equals to 10. You cannot write it equals to 10 equals to x. No, this is wrong. This is not the mathematics, okay? The x equals to 10 and 10 equals to x have totally different meaning, okay? In programming language, whenever you use this operator, this one, you are using it for assigning something. Programming, assignment, and mathematical equality are different concepts. Python have a simpler way. If you want a number, like you have to print z should be x plus 5. Either you can write it like, okay, like this. We got the answer 50. Now you must be thinking what happened. Simple answer is first I assigned the value x as 10. Then I updated the value using the dynamic typing that I have already introduced that in the previous lecture. That I want to update this value of x by adding the 5 in the previous value of x. So it is doing nothing but 10 plus 5, simple. And then printing the value as 50. Okay. So instead of writing this whole thing, Python gives us the easiest way that you can write it as it means the same thing. Either you can write it like this or you can add like this. This is an assignment operator. Both exactly means the same thing. Let's do a thing. Since I have already given the example of this one, let's try to print this one. Let's see if the answer we get the 15 or not. Here, see, the answer is 15. Okay, so both of them literally means the exact, but the second method is little bit cleaner. You see? So this is an assignment operator. Why do we use this symbol? For example, I told you, imagine a game score. Every coin increases the score. Instead of you adding, you are writing x equals to x plus 5. We simply write, okay, x plus equals to 5. That, okay, professional programmer almost use the shorter version. This is nothing but a smarter way of using something. You can simply change it to minus. Now it will be subtracting 5 from the initial value of x every time you run the program. See, now the answer would be 5. You got it. The answer is 5. This is how it works. Okay. You can even change this to this. Now it will multiply. Simple. So this will just multiply whatever you will add in that. You can even use division too. Now it has been divided and have given you the decimal value. Since I already told you that normal division always gives you the value in terms of float. Uh, and if you want a float division, then see what happens. Then you get the answer in normal integer. Okay, you can use modulus function too. So if there is no remainder, so it's giving us the 0. You can use it for exponential too. 10 raised to power 5. So assignment operators are nothing but for assigning it. Okay, students must understand when they see the value changing by step. So I have given you the examples in front of your eyes. Try your own, try each one of them, and if there is an error, rewind the videos and see again and again. Okay, so okay, so since we have done this, let's move to another important category. Imagine you are creating an online exam portal. You need to answer questions like, is the student has been passed? Is the age greater than 18? Is the password correct? Or is the stock available? Can arithmetic operators can answer these? No, it cannot. So for that, we have to use comparison operators because arithmetic operators only calculate, whereas comparison operators are used for comparison. So the answer is always you have to remember when you are using a comparison operator, the answer would be in true or false. So let's move and see what happens. Okay. First operator that I am using for the comparison is double equal to. Double equals means not So remember, it's not, it is a double equal, not a single equal. Many beginners make some mistakes and get confused in this double equal and single output. So, for example, if I'm asking to print that 10 equals to 10, I'm asking the value. So, answer is true. Now, if I ask that 10 equals to 20, so the answer is 5. So the difference, what is the difference? What we till now we were doing is x equals to 10 means assigning the value 10 to the x, and x equals to 10 means compare the value of x with the 10. So this is a comparison operator. Never confuse between these two. This is an assignment operator, but this is a comparison operator. Checking if both the variables that we have given are equal or not. So remember it. The answer would be according to that only, and it will either give you a true or a false. If I there is second operator, this was for equal to. And if I want to ask not equal to, what do you think the answer would be? 10 is not equal to 20. Answer is true because 10 and 20 are different. But what if I ask you that 10 and 10 are not equal? Then answer is false. Okay. Second thing we can compare is 10 greater than 20? False. Is 10 lesser than 20? True. So this is how greater than and less than going to work. You can do one more thing, that is 20 greater than and equal to. Okay. The answer is 20. Okay. What if I add is 21? Then again answer is 21 because here we have used two conditions. First is greater than, the 20 should be greater than 20, first I'm asking that 20 is greater than 21, and second thing I'm asking you is 20 equal to 20. Either of the condition is satisfied, the answer would be true. Either of them is not satisfied, the answer would be false. So remember that. Similar thing we can do it for less than. Let's see. Is 21 less than 20? No. Similarly, you have to remember that this is kind of thing used in eligibility criteria. So if I am adding you the values a equals to 20, b equals to 50, I am printing these values. And print a, okay, for more clear version, let's do it like this. First answer is 20 is equal to 15. False. Is saying true. So these are some perfect examples for this. So I hope you understood these all of these. Now we are moving towards our logical operators. It is also one of the most important concepts. Logical operators allows us to combine multiple conditions. Imagine a company is hiring employees and its requirement is that it should be above 80 and should be qualified till graduation. One condition is not enough, no. We have, must satisfy both conditions. That's where operators helps us. So the first logical operator is AND operator. Age equals to 22. Salary should be 5. Salary, let it be 5,000. So I want to print for age in 18 and salary 30,000. See how it, okay, I chose the wrong variable, that's why. The answer is false. Do you know why? Because it has been asking me the age should be the age should be greater than 80. That is satisfied. But the salary should be greater than 30,000. That is not satisfied. Both are not true. So the answer is false. But what if I change it to 300? Now both condition has been satisfied. So both are true. So think it is as a switch that is connected in series. If one switches off, the bulb won't glow. Similarly, AND requires every condition to be true. If the both conditions are true, the answer would be true only then. If either of them are false, then the whole answer would be false. But if we are talking about OR condition, we have to satisfy only one condition. I'm again making it to 30,000. Okay, let's see what happens. It's true because any one of the condition would be satisfied, it will work. Suppose a scholarship is given. If sports, either for a sports quota or academic quota, if you qualify any of them, you get the admission. That's all. Or gives you the like if any of the condition is satisfied, either of them, then the it will give you the value as true. But if both are not satisfied, then only the answer would be false. And the third operator is not. It's simply reverse. It is for reversing the value. For example, print not true. So what is the reverse form of true? That is false. So it will give the answer as false. If I want to print not false. So it is going to give the answer true. It's very simple, so you don't have to worry. Common mistake you can make instead of using for you are using assignment operator instead of comparison operator in equal to. Always I'm giving you the reminder. Double equals to is for comparison, single is for assigning the value. Thinking that and behaves like or. And for and every condition must be true. For or at least one condition must be true. And these and or not should never be in uppercase because they are reserved words, the key words. As I told you, as we will going forward, we will get to know that what are the keywords. These are also keywords, so it can never be in uppercase. Remember, keywords has to be in always. These keywords should be always in lowercase. So far, our program we have learned that how to calculate, we have learned how to compare, then how to combine conditions and give the answer in true or false. But imagine the situation, you are creating an ATM, okay? Customer is entering the PIN. Now the customer checks whether the PIN is correct or not. Suppose it is correct. Should the ATM immediately dispense the cash? Yes. What if the PIN is incorrect? Should it dispense the money? Absolutely. No. So after the checking the condition, the computer must take a decision. This ability of is called decision making. And in Python, it becomes with the if statement. We will discuss this more in detailed form for in like upcoming video. Right now, we are going for the identity operator. Before learning decision making, let's quickly understand two more categories. That is, first one is identity operator. There are two, is not. Students often get confused with these double equal to. Remember this important rule that double equals to checks whether the values are equal or not. Is check whether the both variables refer to the same object in memory or not. Now you must be very much confused. I will give you an example. Right now, x equals to 1, 2. Now here we are using list. This is another thing that I will let you know. List is something that is inside the square brackets. Okay, just understand this thing. And y is giving you same value. Is and double equals to are totally different. See, x equals to y. Yes, 1, 1, 2, 2. True. It's good. But x is y. No, because they both have totally different memory location. Both lists contain the same value. So the double equals to give the create two different lists in different memories and is written false because it is not stored in the same memory. Don't spend too much time on memory and something. For now, just remember that first one is for comparing. The double equals to is to compare, and the second is for comparing whether the objects are in same object or not. While is not, as the name suggests, it is for telling you that okay, are they or in the are if both are not the same object or not. Simple. Okay. If you ask Python x is not y, then it will return true because both are not same object. Okay. Now membership operator. It is another useful category. It has two types, in and not in. These operators inside of another variable or not. So these operator checks whether some thing exists inside another object or not. Think about YouTube. Suppose you search Python. The computer checks whether the word Python exists in the title or not. That's exactly what membership operator do. Suppose here is an example. Is Python, it is asking you Python in Python course. True, because Python exists inside the sentence, right? If I ask you if I'm asking you Java in course, like in this course, you would say no, it is not. Let's do some live coding that would be literally more helpful. I'm printing two structures, okay? So in is also a keyword. So remember, you have to put in you have to make it as simple as a small case because it is a reserved word. Remember that. Let's see what's the answer. First one is true because this sentence contains the Python word, and the second is wrong because it does not contain. What if I change it to in not? This is also a keyword. So the answer, sorry, not in. I thought not in. Now the answer is true because Java does not consist in the course, or I would say the message I have been printed in the Python course. Similarly, in the given list, 5 is already in the given list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's printing true. If I print 5 not in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it will give the false. So remember, searching contacts, searching emails, checking whether a username already exists or a product already exists, searching books, searching movies, membership operators are used everywhere. Okay. Since I already told you, bitwise operators works on binary representation. We will touch them only briefly as we move forward, not right now. Okay. Now I'll give you the basic knowledge about decision making with if. So as the word suggests, if is also a keyword. This is the most exciting topic. Imagine you are in a traffic signal. If the light is green, you say, okay, go. Otherwise, stop. This is exactly how programs work. A condition is checked. Based on that condition, Python chooses what code should be run. This process is called decision making. If statement, the simplest decision structure. If statement is like nothing but checking if the condition has been satisfied or not. If is only evaluated if the block of code is true. If it is not true, it will be skipped entirely. Okay. So if you want to know the basic syntax is simple. If whatever the condition you put and this then you give the semicolon and whatever the statement you will write. This is a simple, I would say a simple syntax. Notice something, there is a colon and this colon is for indentation. I already told you Python is very strict about indentation. If you don't give spaces, your program won't run. Like if you want, I can give you an example. I'm setting a marks equal to 75. Okay. If marks are greater than or equal to 40, then print pass. Okay. Then only print pass. Let's see what. Okay, the answer is pass. So this is indentation. Never follow this. Never forget this syntax that you have to put that semicolon for the indentation. And what I did, if then my state, whatever the condition was, that marks should be greater than equals to 40, and the statement what I want to print. If you don't want, you can skip the statement part. There is no issue. But the condition and if should be used. Okay. So whenever the condition becomes true, therefore the print statement would be executed. If I change it to 30, this, let's see what happens. The statement have been skipped. The Python simply skips the whole block because the condition is false. Similarly, we can predict our age for eligibility to vote or not. Simply, these are some basic idea of how to use if statement. Students often write it is like that and forget to hit the semicolon. Then it will definitely throw you an error because they forget the semicolon. Condition should end with a semicolon. But it's not like na only one condition will be there. Suppose the student suppose the student fails. Should the program remain silent? No, it should print something. No, okay, no, it has the person has been failed. So for that, we have another thing that is with the if we can use another thing that is else. Else is used similarly, exactly like that. Only the thing is else do not have condition. You can put condition in that, but it's not necessary because it is a simple meaning that okay, the first condition is not satisfied, then this should be run eventually. Okay, so this is like this and print fail. If the first condition is not working, then you have to print this and this only. So we don't need any condition in there since the person has been failed. So the answer is fail. One block will always execute. This is how if and else works. So real life examples are ATM. If you enter the correct pin, access granted. Wrong pin, access is denied. Door lock, for example. You have entered the correct password. Door will be opened. You have entered the wrong password. Door is locked. Similarly, online shopping, stock available? Yes, order will be placed. Else, out of stock will be shown. Student can relate this to examples because I have used very basic examples. Along with that, since we have done this, if else, now elif. Elif is suppose we have more than two conditions. Then we use elif. Suppose marks are 95. Should we print pass? No, we should. If you want to print grades, there are A, B, C, D, fail. This requires multiple conditions. That's why Python gives elif. If person wants ki, okay, if marks are certain, okay, let's print it. Then print A, elif, marks equals to 75, print B, elif, marks 60, print C, elif, marks equals to 40, print D. So I'm just changing it to 78. Let's see what's the answer we get. So we get the B because the answer, the second statement has been satisfied. Every condition I have put that either the marks should be greater than or equal to 90 or 75 or 60 or 40. The Python checks from the top to bottom. The first condition, if it is true, then it would be executed as A. Since it's not, then it is executed as B. If it would be also wrong, then C, then D, then fail. Python immediately ignores all the remaining condition if the condition has been satisfied wherever. This is extremely important. So please do remember it. Next is nested if. Nested if, now imagine a condition. Age should be above 18, for example. Okay. Condition 1. Age should be above 18. If yes, then another condition is graduation completed. Only then hire the candidate. This is called nested if. If inside another if. So they are just nested inside it. That's why they are called nested if. Like age equals to 22, graduate equals to true. If age equals to 18, if graduate print um, eligible eligible else print complete your graduation, else print underage. Okay, now you must be thinking this is too much, right? You don't have to worry. This must be looking very much difficult. I will explain you very simply. First, I have given age a value 22 and graduate a value true. Okay. If age is greater than equal to 18, if this condition is satisfied, then go to this condition. If graduated, okay, so if this is done, then check. If graduate, this means if the graduation is true, if his condition is true, then print okay, you are eligible. Else, if this condition is not so not satisfied, then complete your graduation. This message should be displayed. If if this condition, if I'll just hide this, okay, just now you must be now this would be a little bit easier for you. See, first I give you two conditions that if else. First, the age should be above 18. If it is, then we will see what happens. If it not, simply say that you are underage. If the first condition is satisfied, the age is above 18, that is true, then we will move forward and give see that if that it also have another if inside it. So if graduate, if true, since first condition is true, if it is true, it should print eligible. Okay, the condition is true. If it this would be false, then it will say print that complete your graduation. You're eligible, but you have to complete your graduation. Let's see what happens. Okay, there is something. Okay, it's not more complicated. Let's see what happens. Line 7. Indentation error. So this is the importance of indentation here. If you don't do the correct indentation, then there will be an error because it will not consider it as the same block of code because this is the same block. You see, if condition has this part inside it as a subcategory, so if there is no proper indentation, it will not work. Let's see now what it should be clear. See, the answer is eligible because first, age is about 22, so this condition is satisfied. Then we got down and we see that if true, that is already satisfied that okay, it is true, then print eligible. If I say it's false, then what do you think it will say? Complete your graduation because now this condition has been satisfied. If the age was 2 only, then the first block of code that this if has been skipped and it simply said that you're underage. So this is how nested lid already works. In the next video, we will do some programs like even, odd, positive, negative, largest two numbers, grid calculator. We will do this. since it's already a long video. We let's before ending this lecture, let's summarize something. We have started revising by data types, and from the previous unit, we have done input function, how to use it. Then we learned about comments. Then arithmetic operators for calculation. We used assignment operator to update value efficiently. We explored comparison operator to compare and get true or false. We combined conditions using logical operators. We briefly understand identity operators and membership operators. Finally, we learned how Python makes decisions if else, elif, and nested if, and applied everything in seven practical programs. Now, their homework is try to create your simple calculator or check whether a number is a leap year or not, if a person is eligible to vote or not. Try these simple programs. Practice these yourself instead of just watching the lecture. Programming is a practical skill, so you learn it by writing your own code. In the next skill, we will do some more programs about it. We'll build on these concepts, so make sure you are comfortable with today's operators and decision making before we move forward. So this will be these are the practice program that we will cover in the next our program. So thank you everyone, and